I'm gonna go off on a tangent, but I really don't care. People act so confused when we say that having children is the most selfish thing that you could ever do in this life. Because anytime you have children, it is a selfish act. You are only thinking about yourself. Or most times you're not thinking at all. I want my kids to grow up in a 2-parent home. I want my kids to have all the nice things. You are craving something for somebody that's not even here because you really want it for yourself. A lot of people grow up in broken homes, and it is what it is.
When we start from a place of I want this, I want that, I want a mansion, I want $1 million, I want a little boyfriend,
I want some kids.
When we start from I want, it's usually coming from the ego. Ego loves to prove, needs validation, needs some sort of meaning in this material world. So we try to gather a whole bunch of things, a whole bunch of people, a whole bunch of possession to materialize in this material world. Because having this materialize in front of us, it means something in this society. So a lot of times we don't even know that we are really being selfish by all of these wants and needs, that the root is from the ego. But we are unconsciously not even aware that we will say
things like, I want a kid to fix my generational curse. I want a kid to break my generational curse.
So then we will have these kids to break our generational curse that we have to heal, that we have to get down to the bottom of, that we have to heal our inner child with. Not having more kids, we have to heal our own inner child. But we think it's better to have kids in poverty instead of taking accountability for ourselves, responsibility for ourselves, going to therapy and healing our inner child.
Y'all are out here having kids to repair your inner child. And I don't think y'all even see that. You want this magical childhood for your children, but the reality is you really want it for you. You want them kids to have everything that you didn't have because why? You want to repair your fuck ass childhood. And you are doing that by having kids. That is insane.
Some sort of audacity. Talk about entitlement as humans. The reason why we want to have kids is to break our generational curses. That sounds like we need to heal our own childhood trauma. We need to heal the cycle, the pattern that we are fighting within ourselves. Whatever demons that we are fighting within ourselves, that we think that externally we need some type of validation, externally we need to prove something, externally we feel like we have to follow some type of social norms, externally we feel like we have to do something. So we just make up a reason why we have to do it, and we will blame it on the kids, and we will think we're doing the kids a favor by calling them into this existence of capitalism. Tell them that we're doing them a favor because we wanted them here to break our generational curses. So we will make them go half on the rent with us to help us survive in this misery we have created within ourselves. Having kids in poverty is insane. And then on top of that, traumatizing them and making them go half on the rent with you. Telling them, oh, you gotta do this, you better do this. Like they asked to be here with you, to be in survival, to be in misery, to be in this chaos with you. Most people don't even know that they are a narcissist with this egotistic entitlement mentality that they will set these kids up to worship them, to say you have to obey me, when all they did bump and grind and hit the lottery. Now the kid owes them healing. The kid owes them to help heal their trauma. The kid owes them to help break their generational curses. The kid owes them unconditional love. You have to realize most parents really expect unconditional love from their kids. The kid has to worship them, obey them, and love them. But how can you love someone when you don't even love yourselves? How can you teach kids to love and to be loved and to love themselves if you have never taken the time to love you, to heal you, to work on you, to develop life skills, self-development, to heal your own trauma first, instead of emotionally dumping on the kid and expecting them to be someone or something that they're not, and getting mad at them for turning out to be themselves. We will call kids a rebel. We will call them a misfit. We'll get mad at these kids because we can't control them. But first, we have to control ourselves. How do you expect to control anyone if you have never even taken the time to control yourself?
Go to therapy. Then y'all get with people who would never make good parents, but you like them. The reality is y'all don't give a fuck about kids. Y'all really don't, because if you did, you would go out and adopt. But you're not going to do that because you want a child that's going to look like you. Again, very selfish, very vain. Y'all are literally birthing kids into a world that is on fire just so you can repair your fuck-ass childhood.
At the end of the day, I don't think it's selfish to choose to live a child-free lifestyle. And I'm not saying this because I am doing it, but I really believe it's a selfless act. Society has programmed into our minds that spending time alone is bad, choosing to invest into ourselves is selfish, choosing to have boundaries is buffoonery, choosing to stand up for ourselves is a bad thing. We are truly living in backwards in this society, and we don't even know it until we actually spend time in solitude to have a moment to think for ourselves and to ask ourselves and to question ourselves, why are we doing certain things in this society? Most people's biggest excuse that I see a lot, that they have kids for a quote-unquote legacy. They think that the more sex trophies that they create in this material world, that they are doing justice for humanity.
Because we need more people here
to fuel the jail system, the school system, and all the other systems here. We need people. We need the money. We need the taxpayers. We need the workers. Okay? We need people here. Like it's not 8 billion. Like y'all wasn't being fruitful and multiplying. Y'all don't know when to stop. Y'all don't know when to stop fucking. Y'all so horny, y'all just keep on going. Like your jackrabbits. So the highest aspiration in life is to have a whole bunch of kids running around here and calling it a legacy because you think you are doing something for capitalism. That's all you doing, is producing more taxpayers that did not ask to join you in this misery. Because you out here thinking the only way you can survive is by having kids. You can choose to thrive, and that is what I'm doing. Choosing to thrive by healing my own inner child, by truly taking time for me, by living slowly, by being a minimalist, not hoarding, by not attaching myself, by not holding on, but truly letting go and going with the flow of life and not trying to control life and not having secret motives for kids, secret motives for partners, secret motives for friends. Truly just accepting people for who they are without trying to control them. You are really at peace when you take time for solitude, when you take time to really separate yourself from society, separate yourself from the matrix, because you will go insane by following the leader instead of following yourself. We are living around a whole bunch of sheeps, and the sheeps are headed towards the slaughterhouse. These folks always screaming, kids is my legacy, kids is my legacy, kids is my legacy. But y'all never bringing up Michael Jackson's kids. What about Paris and them? Y'all forgot about Paris and them? Y'all ain't never bringing up Michael Jackson's kids. So what does kids have to do with your legacy? You are your own person. So you have to pull up your big girl pants, your big boy pants, and do something great for this society. Instead of just creating a whole bunch of sex trophies and handing them out here without having any type of guidance, any type of awareness, and you're just birthing them into poverty. Into poverty. They didn't ask to be broke with you. They didn't ask for that. At least give them money. At least let them have a fair chance to be a decent human being. But then you setting them up for failure. You're setting them up. You're setting these kids up. And how is this love? Because you want to break your generational trauma, your generational curse, and you're trying to put all this pressure on this kid to be your purpose, to be your motivation, to be your everything, when you have to have the inner strength to do that for yourself, to heal whatever trauma you have going on within yourself, whatever type of void that you feel that is missing, that is lacking, to fill that up within. But you thinking that kids is going to give you some type of meaning here because you're bored and you just want something to do and you want to add more drama and chaos to your life?
That is insane.
Why would you put kids through poverty, through drama, through chaos, just for you to be busybody, to give you something to do, to give you some sort of meaning here?